go back and review what we've been learning previously, we have been steadily, in the past several lessons, building up to our performance task, right? Which means collecting all of the information that we have researched, because what are we? Researchers. Putting our notes on the note cards and getting ready for our big oral presentations. All right, so we've been building up, all right, getting there. So we're going to be practicing today, giving our oral presentations to one another. All right, and we've also practiced in the last few lessons taking basic sentences that are kind of boring and making them high quality sentences. So we'll also be practicing that a little bit today. All right, hey class.
Yes.
Today we are going to be speaking in those complete sentences that are
High
quality when we're practicing presenting, and we're also going to be showing empathy when we give feedback to our partners. Yesterday we talked about how feedback is very what?
Important.
Yeah. Even the most famous authors get feedback about their work, right? We talked about that too.
Like yesterday, you that video.
Oh, Carson. And you even remembered his name from the video that we watched. We used that as a model, right? So we'll talk about that in just a second. But Carson, I'm so proud of you for talking about something that we did in our lesson yesterday. Good job. All right. Today, we are going to be practicing our oral presentations. Now, Carson, you beat me to it, buddy. I'm so proud of you. I want to remind you, what was his name, Carson? Thomas. And he was a 12-year-old boy in a video yesterday that had developed what? Two apps. But what we were really paying close attention to was how Thomas was presenting his information. We paid attention to his voice level.
And his notes was on his tablet, so he looked back and kept on going.
Carson, I'm so proud of you because we also paid attention to the tools that Thomas was using so that he could present his information and stay on topic and present it in the correct order. So kind of like how he had his notes on his tablet, what do we have, Carson, in our cubby folders?
Notes.
Our note cards, right? And we're going to get those out in a little bit. Carson, I'm so incredibly proud of you. Now, in a minute, we're going to go back over our criteria for a high quality oral presentation. All right, we talked about those yesterday. There we go. We have two specific learning targets today. Let's look at our first one. I can speak in complete sentences when using my note cards to present to an audience. All right, real quick, let's take a few important words out of our learning target so that we're clear on what we're shooting for today. All right, our complete sentence that we've been working on, it must be a complete thought, right? It must have a noun as a subject because we need to know what we're talking about. And it must have some type of action or sometimes a verb that tells you about something, right? Maybe what it is, right? What it looks like. Okay, and let's also look at the word audience because at the end of this week we'll be presenting to an audience, right? Mir?
Yes.
An audience.
An audience.
Is a group of people listening. There we go. So we know that we're going to be presenting to an audience using our note cards. There you go. Our second learning target. And Carson, you don't talk about it today, buddy. I can show empathy when I give feedback to my peers. All right, we talked yesterday about how that feedback is so important. Let's focus in real quick, Lila, on this word empathy. Lila, is this word familiar to us? Go ahead and tell me what it means.
Empathy.
Nora, can you help a friend out? What does empathy mean? When we show empathy with our words or our actions.
It's when empathy is when you think about how other people might feel if like treat other people how you want to be treated.
Exactly. Understanding how they feel, right? Nora, excellent job. Hey, class. I just want to stop for a second and say that I appreciate you all so much listening to Nora with care. That was so beautiful how you all turned to look at Nora and give her eye contact, which is also part of a presentation, right? Excellent. Now, Mir, empathy is understanding another person's feelings. we want to remember how we would feel in that situation. All right, and we're also going to talk about how we can show empathy in our feedback in just a little bit. Okay, practiced that yesterday as well. Yes, Lila?
Peers.
Peers?
Peers means like your partner.
And thank you so much for pointing that out, Lila. I like how you took over and explained to everybody that your peers are your partners. I was going back to show the word. Thanks, guys. All right, go ahead, hands down. All right, hey, class.
Yes.
Our learning target said that we are going to be using what kind of sentences?
Complete.
Complete. Yes, we are using empathy. That was the other learning target. Now, in our complete sentence, let's talk about what that means real quick, okay? And then we have a fun little activity on our Chromebooks to make sure we're clear before we practice our presentations. Now, a complete sentence expresses a complete idea, all right? Let's mirror.
Mirror.
A complete sentence.
A complete sentence.
Expresses
Expresses
a complete idea.
a complete idea.
All right, so I've got a thumbs up for that one, right? Mirror.
Mirror.
An incomplete sentence
An incomplete sentence
does not
does not
express
express
a complete idea.
a complete idea.
It doesn't. All right, so it might be missing something like a noun. If I don't know what my sentence is about, Lila,
Add more detail.
Carson, hey, I appreciate how excited you are today. Okay, but can we hold back for just a second? All right, I might be missing a noun. That would be who my sentence is about, my subject. Or I might be missing the predicate part, which is either telling an action or maybe an important detail about my subject. Do we understand? Yes, Lila?
We could be missing important words like to, the, when,
Okay.
and.
Now, even missing words like that too, Lila, can take a sentence and make it incomplete, right? Because it would not make sense. Excellent job. Way to point that out as well, Lila. All right, hey class.
Yes.
Go ahead and give me a quick thumb if you're clear on the difference between a complete sentence and an incomplete sentence. Okay? Thumbs down if you're not clear. All right, hey class.
Yes.
I want you to go ahead and get into Ms. Aycock's Google Classroom, and I want you to open up that very top activity under classwork. As you're pulling yours up, Ms. Aycock is going to go ahead and pull hers up as well.
It's important. Complete and incomplete sentence.
Yes, ma'am. The very top assignment. All right, Lila, way to remember to click View Assignment. That way you can submit your work when you're finished, right? Excellent job, guys. Way to go.
This is not.
All right, hey, don't get it. All right, quick thumb if you have your activity that I have pulled up on the board on your Chromebook as well. Quick thumb. Excellent. All right, hands down. Hey, class.
Yes.
I'm going to quickly give you directions on how to complete this activity. And you will be turning and talking with your partner at your table to figure out whether or not these are complete sentences or incomplete. So a complete sentence does express a complete idea. An incomplete sentence does
Nothing.
not. Notice that prefix that we've worked on before. In means not complete, right? Okay, hey class.
Yes.
I want you to look at this example right here. Moths like pale flowers. Does Ms. Aycock know what this sentence is about?
Yes. No.
Oh, let me read that again. Okay? I think we need to put our thinking caps on. Moths like pale flowers. Do I know what this sentence is about? Izzy, what is this sentence about?
This sentence is about moths liking pale
Okay, so you said it's about moths, but it also tells me something about moths. What do they?
like pale.
They like pale flowers. Thank you, and Izzy, thank you for resetting words for my question as well. So, moths like pale flowers. I have a subject and I have a predicate. So where would moths like pale flowers be moved to?
The complete sentence.
The complete sentence side. All right, remember to use those arrows, guys, so that you can move them quickly without resizing anything.
Sense hopeful. No.
Hey, class?
Yes.
Quick thumb if you are clear on what you are doing on this activity, deciding whether they are complete or incomplete. I want to hear you discussing it with your partner. Ms. Aycock is going to set her timer for about 8 minutes. All right, I'll be walking around. listening and watching as you work. Get started. Colton, I love how you said let's start with a certain sentence so that y'all can be working together. Good job. Carson, good job moving closer to your partners. Oh wow, I like how you even used our gesture. Incomplete for no. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, class.
Yes.
Damari asked a clarifying question. Thanks, Damari, because Miss Aycock should have said this as well. When you finish the first slide, go ahead and move to that second slide like you have in previous activities like this, okay? Complete both slides. Thanks, Damari.
I'm doing that. Bees.
Which one are we looking at? Okay. Pollination helps make new seeds. What is this sentence about? Okay, so I know what the sentence is about, right? And what does pollination do? Oh, there we go, Alexis. So what do we feel like that is? It is a complete sentence because we have every part that we need, right? So do I have everything I need to make a complete idea? Okay, so how can you correct this?
Yes, that's correct.
And what does pollinators do? Now I have both parts that I need.
Bees are helpful. That's
In that sentence, read it to us.
we are talking.
Now I know in my brain, right? What does it say in my Okay. So what I would like for you to do you know how we have been talking about how we take basic sentences and we upgrade them to fancy sentences or high quality is even better than fancy, right? So could we work together to take some of these complete sentences and make them high quality sentences? What do we need to add?
Adjectives and adverbs.
Excellent, Lava. Adding those adjectives and adverbs. Alright, hey class.
Yes.
I just want to tell you that you have 4 minutes left. Alright, so we're at the halfway mark. So you should be moving on to the second slide. That's excellent, Carson. That's excellent. I just want you to know that you should be on the second slide, my Okay, can you read it for us, please? Okay, do I know who or what is depending on politics? Oh, now, Carson, we do know in our head, right? Because we've been researching this for a long time. But does it say it in that Google words? Okay. So is it complete or is it incomplete? Because I would have to ask, what depends on pollination, right? What depends on pollinators? That's right. That's right. That's right. That's what we were pretending when we're practicing our presentation, right? Okay. Continue working. You have a few minutes left.
Pollination helps
Carson, that's excellent reading. I'm proud of you. I'm super proud of you. Alright, so what else? What can we add?
Some flies are attracted.
That these on this side are already what can we add to them to make them have what are those kinds of words? Okay, yes, details, but specifically, how can we add details by adding adjectives and there you go. Can we practice doing that together?
Some flies are attracted to
Alright, hey class. We done. What, Carson? Give me a thumb if you are finished with both slides. Both slides. Alright, Emma? 2 left. Hey class?
Hey, yes.
In this last minute, as we're waiting on a group to finish up, I'm going to challenge you to look at your complete sentence column on either one of your slides. And I want you to practice, taking them from a basic, boring sentence to a high-quality sentence with your partners, all right? Reread one and revise it. We don't know if it's sunflowers. We don't know if it's right. So
I was about to say, what is your hair colors? This was hairy because they were like,
Do I know what that sentence is about? Okay. And is it telling something? Is that a complete idea? Okay. So where's the
does this sound good? Because some flies like stinky flies smell like
Oh, no, that is some extra detail,
I
right?
also thought of bottom.
Okay. Hey, class?
Yes.
Time is up, all right? Every table has finished our activity now. Okay, now I'm going to challenge you, and we're going to share a few together before we move on. Up, Carson. What Ms. Aycock just said. What changes can we make to some of the complete sentences to take them from basic to
high quality?
High quality. No, Dakota, can you tell us what kinds of words we can add to our basic sentences?
Adverbs and adjectives.
Adverbs and adjectives because they give lots of what, Holden?
Detail.
Detail. All right, and high quality, guys, has lots of
Detail.
All right, we've been practicing this for days. Give me a thumb if you can take one of your complete sentences and make it high quality with more detail. All right? Ryder, can you give us a complete sentence making it high quality?
These were helpful pollinators because they pollinate flowers to make new seeds.
Oh my, so you took just that one small sentence, bees are helpful pollinators, and you added a lot more detail. We even talked yesterday about, hey no, stay with me, not a compound word, but a compound sentence, which has kind of like compound words in the past have two words.
That you put together.
That's right,
and
Marcy.
make a new word.
That's right, so a compound sentence takes two ideas, and you put them together into one sentence with lots of detail. Excellent. All right, can I hear from somebody else that revised one of those sentences to make it high quality? Carson? Hell.
Flowers because they like sweet nectar and because they have
Okay, all right. right, now the last part, Carson, we probably could have left off, but hey class,
Hey, yes.
I want you to point up. Hands and eyes. Carson was using this complete sentence right here, moths like pale flowers. So that sentence is kind of basic, right? But Carson said moths like pale flowers because they...
Sweet nectar.
Oh, and Carson even used an adjective to describe nectar. What kind of nectar?
Sweet nectar.
Carson, a way to add more detail to that sentence, right? I'm so proud. Hey class?
Hey, yes.
One more. Izzy Ellis, can you take one of those sentences and revise it to make a, what kind of sentence? High quality. I love it. Pollinators help plants grow was the basic sentence, and then she used that word by to say what? By moving pollen from flower to flower. So did Izzy add another idea to that sentence? Yes. Excellent job. Hey class?
Yes.
Go ahead and submit those complete and incomplete sentence assignments so that Miss Aycock can check those at the end of class, and then close your Chromebooks. Get those submitted. Alright, I see some tables doing this efficiently. Thanks, guys. Very good job. Alright, hey class.
Yes.
So we just focused and practiced using, or looking at the difference between a complete sentence and an incomplete sentence. Now, let's tie this back in to what we're doing. Sister, do you have that submitted? Thank you. Alright. In our presentation, we want to make sure that we're using what? What kind of sentences?
Complete.
Complete sentences. Okay, now think about this question. Give me a thumb. Why should we present our information in complete sentences? Even think back to listening to Thomas's speech yesterday that we watched on a video. Alexis, why should we present our information in complete sentences? Remember, who are we presenting to?
Fifth grade.
Okay, but we call that from our learning target, we call that our audience. There we go. So Alexis, why should we present incomplete sentences to our audience? Good job, ladies, turning. You can do it. Why do we want to speak to our audience in complete sentences, Alexis? Okay, excellent. Anybody add on to what Alexis was saying? Damari, what were you going to say, bud?
Because if we didn't speak in complete sentences, they wouldn't know what we're
Okay, it would not be very clear to them, right?
Yeah.
Remember, if we speak in complete sentences that are high quality, they can picture clearly in their mind what we are explaining, right? One more, Lila, and then let's move on.
Because if we don't speak in complete sentences and we try to tell them what we've been learning about, they might not understand.
Right? Right? So, and what process are we explaining, Lila?
The pollination.
The pollination process. So if we don't speak in complete sentences, they might not understand the process
They'll
at the
be
end,
like,
right?
is it a frog process?
They might if we're not very clear. And I mean, if we left off the subject in every sentence, they would say, what are you talking about, right? Okay. All right, hey class.
Hey, yes.
I want you to go ahead and get your presentation note cards out of your cubbies. How are we getting them out? Efficiently. Let's go. Hey class? Hey, yes? You're on top of it. Very efficient, Carson. Very efficient. Okay, today we are going to practice using our note cards that we added our notes to to present our information, right? We're pretending like we're actually giving our oral presentation, okay? But we're going to be practicing and getting feedback from our peers. Because it's what? Important. They can find mistakes that we might not have noticed. Now, hey class, pencils down for a minute. I need your hands and eyes. Okay, because Miss Aycock is going to practice first before you practice with your peers, so we're clear on what to do. What? Now, Miss Aycock has notes just like you do, right? Now, my research topic is bees. Are any of you bees now? No, you all have your own different topics that you chose with your group, right? But I'm going to show you how I'm taking the notes that I put into my note card, and I'm reading them clearly, and I'm putting them into a complete sentence for my audience. All right? Hey, class?
Yes.
Hands and eyes. Okay? Listen how Miss Aycock takes her notes on her first note card, Lila. Apples are important to me because I love to eat apple pie. Alright, that was my first note card. Now I'm moving on to read my second. The secret behind the apple tree. Oh, hey class. Miss Aycock's turn. Miss Aycock's turn. The secret behind the apple tree is bees. This is how bees help the apple tree flower. Alright, hey class. Thinking about Miss Aycock's example, what did you notice when I practiced turning my notes into sentences? What did you notice about what Miss Aycock did?
Use
Anything else? Oh no, I did use expression, and that's part of what have we practiced all year reading how? Fluently, right? So I did read with expression. Way to notice that, Izzy. Emma? Okay, I did. I took my notes and I made sure that my sentences were complete and they made sense. All right, Carson? Oh, thank you. So we've already said expression, but what was one of our other parts of fluency? Reading with meaning. Excellent. Carson, did Miss Aycock read like this?
No.
No. Way to notice that, Carson. Excellent. So, hey class.
Yes.
As you begin practicing reading your note cards in a minute, what are you going to focus on using? Ava? What do you, if Miss Aycock used expression and meaning, and I spoke in what kind of sentences? Complete sentences. So if I did that, what should you focus on, Ava? Okay, speaking in complete sentences. Anybody else want to add on to what Ava said? Sid, what else are you going to do? Speaking complete sentences, and what else? Okay, we are going to stay on topic for sure. So if we get off topic, then our partner will be able to give us the right feedback, right? So yes, we will. Ryder. Speaking in complete sentences, what else, bud? What did some of our friends say that Miss Aycock did along with speaking in complete sentences? Thinking about parts of fluency. What did we say? With meaning and expression. So if I did, then you will speak with meaning and
Expression.
Oh, Carson,
That's the right speech.
you are killing it this morning. I'm so proud of you. All right, hey class.
Yes.
You are also going to be reading note card number 3, and then that is where we are going to stop today. Okay, so I want you to listen to Miss Aycock as I look at my note card number 3. Now this is where you're actually explaining the different steps of what process? Pollination, okay? Now, on the very first step, it told me to describe why the pollinator goes to the plant. Now, I took notes that now I need to use those notes to make a what? What kind of sentence?
Complete.
Complete, okay? Hey, class?
Yes.
I just feel like we need to reset. Hands and eyes. Thank you. Alright, I'm going to give you an example of some notes that I have underneath this first idea right here. And I want you to give me a thumb if you can take those notes and put them into a complete sentence. So it says, describe why the pollinator goes to the plant. Well, my pollinator is bees, and I might have fuzzy, nectar, bright colors. Can anybody take those notes and put them into a complete sentence? Fuzzy, nectar, bright colors. Carson?
The bee is going to the flower because they have fuzzy, and it goes to get sweet.
Okay, now let's rethink this. Could we maybe put fuzzy somewhere else in that sentence? Instead of putting it at the end, what kind of bee is it, Carson?
Fuzzy.
Okay, so bee.
Fuzzy bee wants to go to sweet nectar.
Okay, all right, you're on the right track. So we can start with Carson's sentence. The fuzzy bee went to drink sweet nectar. Good job using that adjective. Can we use bright colors at the end of that sentence? Alexis, add on. The fuzzy bee.
Fuzzy bee went to the bright flower to drink sweet nectar.
Excellent. Hey, class.
Hey, yes.
Do you see how Alexis took my 3 different notes and words from my note card right here and formed a complete sentence? Yes, Lila.
The fuzzy bee went to the bright white flower.
Okay.
The sweet nectar.
Oh, I like how you even added an extra detail to that, an extra adjective. Very good. Hey, class.
Yes.
Colton, thank you for giving me hands and eyes without mistake. I'll say anything. Excellent job. All right, so do you understand how you're taking your notes that you put on your note card and you're going to be practicing speaking in what? Complete sentences. Now, do you notice how my friends helped me take my notes and I didn't make a basic sentence. I made a pretty nice high quality sentence that had lots of detail. Why do you think Miss Acock keeps bringing high quality up? Because it's very important.
Yep.
All right, it's very important for you to write and speak in those kinds of sentences when next year in what? Third grade. Absolutely. All right. Hey, class.
Hey, yes.
Before we begin practicing our presentations with our partner, we're going to review what peer feedback looks like, and also how we're going to use some sentence starters when we give feedback. Hey, class. Hey, yes. Okay. All right. Peer feedback is when somebody tells me how I've done, right? How I've performed. Okay. So.
How, like, if you were like a student and you had a teacher and you had a teacher and she might say, you did good.
That's right. Okay, but Carson, if I just said you did good, Miss Acock didn't use lots of what? Detail.
You have to tell them, hey, this was good. You did
Okay, that's right. But I might say instead, Carson, I like how you're already there with me. Instead of saying you did good, I might say your work is very nice because it has
a lot of detail.
There we go. Something like that, Carson, right? So we're going to practice being, what did we say? Remember this gesture? Specific. Very nice. Hey, class?
Hey, yes.
Carson's beating me to it today because he is on top of the game. We talked about the past few days what feedback is supposed to look like. Let's review. Mirror. My feedback should be kind, specific, and helpful. Okay, remember, if Miss Acock just said, Emma, that work might be incorrect, and I walked away, what would Emma be saying?
She was what she was doing.
That's right. I'm not quite sure what to correct or how to correct it. So we need to be what? Specific in our feedback.
And then you've got to, like, they said this is wrong, then you correct it, then you say, well, great, let's go back and tell her, how about you let her, like, do something.
That's right. I might have a very specific change that she needed to make. Right, Carson? All right. Hey, class.
Hey, yes.
I can be kind by doing what when I give feedback? Smiling. All right. Using what kind of voice? Kind. And being what? Very important? Specific. All right. Now, I'm going to give you each your own little note card that has those specific feedback sentence starters on it. We're going to look through them together, and then we're going to pair up with our partners. Is everybody with me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so everybody gets their own sentence starter note card. You're welcome, Carson. Ladies. Well, hey class. Alright, I want you to notice that your specific sentence starters on your card are the exact same that Ms. Aycock has up on the board. Okay, so let's talk about this. Lila, we're going to be using some of our discussion norms when we pair up with our partner a bit, right? So when you pair up with Nora, y'all will be, you already did it.
Do it one at a time.
Speaking one at a time. You already knew what I was talking about. So when you're presenting, Nora is going to be doing what? Listening with care. Okay, hey class?
Yes.
So you're either going to be the one presenting or the one doing what? Listening with care, right? Now if you're the one listening, at the end, you're going to have to give feedback that is hey class, look at my one gesture. Okay, I'm getting excited, I think y'all are too. Okay, but let's remember what this gesture means. We're going to make sure that our feedback is specific. It's a little bit of a tricky word, Nora, right? Okay, hey class. Hey class. Much better. These sentence starters are going to help us to be specific, okay? I want you to use your tracking finger to go through these different sentence starters that you can choose from whenever you are giving your feedback. Up. Sit. I'm saying like say to use. Right? Stay on track. Okay? The first one is one strength of your presentation was, and then give lots of detail, right? So it could be they used a clear voice, all right? They spoke in complete sentences. They used expression and meaning. Excellent. All right, the next one says the strongest part was, and then add detail to the end. Stand up for a second. Okay, go ahead and do that. All right, the next one, you did a good job when,
Blah, blah, blah.
right, with detail, okay? The next one, you used great words when you talked about,
Blah, 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 blah.
right, because everyone likes to do that sometimes. But that would especially be if you use words like adjectives and adverbs. If your partner said that a lot of those words in their sentences make it high quality. Yes, Lila?
This one.
We're going to get to it, all right? I like that you're curious about it. You use, Ms. Aycock's already read that one. The last one criterion you used really well was, hey class?
Yes.
I like how Lila asked this question. Yesterday, we looked at different criteria to make what kind of presentation? High quality. So Lila, if I use this sentence starter, my turn. I would be saying that one of these that you did really well was, so I might say one criterion you used really well was remembering to use your note cards when you needed them, right? So the very last sentence starter, you would be pulling something off of our chart and telling your partner they did really well at that one criterion. You with me? All right, hey class?
Yes.
Say
Do
with
you
me.
have to do them in order?
No, ma'am, and listen carefully what Miss Aycock says. Up. You good now? I liked Lila's clarifying question. She asked if you had to use all of these in order. You do not have to use all of them, Lila. What did Miss Aycock just say? That important word, you get to choose which specific sentence starter you want to use in your feedback, right? So I liked how you asked that question to clear it up. Choose one or two when you are giving your partner, what do we call that?
Feedback.
Feedback. Excellent. Is everybody with me?
Yeah.
Give me a thumb if you're clear on those directions. All right, we're about to get started. Okay. Hey, class.
Yes.
Let's point back to this chart one more time, Lila. Okay? And then you can get started. Our criteria, thinking back, we built this list yesterday after watching Thomas give his presentation on the board, right? And we listened for, what kind of voice did he use?
Expression
Well,
and meaning.
yes, he did. but it was loud and clear so that others in the audience could hear him, right? So you're going to be sure to use clear and audible words that your audience can hear. All right, the next one, big one today, is our learning target. We're going to speak in
Complete sentences.
complete sentences. You also have what to refer back to? Your note cards. Kind of like Thomas had his iPad that he would glance down at. We have our note cards. And then the last one, which we're going to get to this in our next lesson, we will refer to our posters that we'll be showing to our audience so that they can see the pollination process take place, okay? So you're focusing on the first 3 criteria up on this chart today. Is everybody with me?
Yes.
All right, hey class.
Yes.
We know by now how to decide in our groups who goes first, who's presenting, who's listening, and then giving feedback. So let me be clear. It is required of you, after you have been the listener, to provide what? Feedback that is
Important.
what? Specific. Thank you, Ryder, for thinking about the gesture. Clear?
Yeah.
I'm setting a timer. Let's go. You and Alexis, why don't, so that we can be a friend, Alexis, why don't we stand up and share for a minute, okay? I feel like we need to do that. All right, hey class. Go ahead and get started. One of you will be using your note cards first. The other one will be doing what? What? Is he? Doing what? So one is reading and what's the other one? Okay, so who's going to go first in your group? Carson, now remember, hey, y'all work to figure out who's going first and the others are giving feedback, right? Yes, Lila.
Instead of saying specific, I was going to say straight.
Okay. All right. Hey, class.
Yes.
Look at Miss Acock. To be clear, okay? You have to decide who's speaking first and who's listening first, all right? So when I tell you go, I'd like for you to discuss that efficiently and get started. How many note cards are you reading today? 3, just like Miss Acock did. Your first 3, and then you will stop and receive your feedback. Is everybody clear? Get started, okay? Hold on. What are we doing? How can we correct this right here? Ryder, how can we correct this? If you're reading to an audience, there we go. So Ryder, you follow it? Perfect. Ladies, I like how you're already looking at one another without being told. Very nice. Okay, and I answered that question, so Wes, put your hands back down. Good job listening. All right, who's ready first, ladies? Okay, so Ava, we're going to make sure that we time it right, that we hold our note cards in our hands. Which note card are we starting with, Ava? Okay, so we're going to take our hands and how are we going to speak? Loud and what is it? So can you read like that? We're easy and easy. We're going to do focus and then listening real. Okay. Can we turn? We need to make sure that our words are really loud and clear. We need to be loud and clear. Turn a little bit. Who's reading? Okay. Just 3 cards, right? No, card number 3. Choose one of those sentence starters and give Sydney some feedback. Well, is that very specific?
Beetles are attracted to flowers because they're bright colors. Beetles eat flower.
So, you know what? What should we be doing to our little presentations or half and all everything we actually present? If you've gone through it once, we can choose practice one more time, and do you think maybe this time we could choose a different sentence starter to use for our partner? One more? Alright, now we'll just do, we can place it. And that's whenever you choose one of the criteria from the placer right here. Alright, hey class. Sorry to interrupt, but let's pause and see where we are. Okay, we're about at the halfway mark, and one person should have at least completed their presentation right now and received feedback. So give me a thumb if at least one person in your group has presented their 3 note cards. Quick thumb if at least one person has, and you've received feedback. Ava, you haven't finished yours yet? You almost? Okay. All right, hey class. Just letting you know where your time stands. We're at the halfway mark, so you should be moving to your next partner, okay? Which one of those? And that's their student, right? Did he do one of those? Okay, so I want you to practice putting that together one more time. No, don't. I'm going to ask you to share that. Okay? Do you see how you're kind of knocking portion out of the group by turning your back like that? Can we switch on your back a little bit? So that part can be a part of this too, while we're moving through. Second, we change it. Okay? Alright, so hey, but I want to hear you use the whole, I want to hear you say the whole complete sentence.
What should your presentation has used expression?
Excellent, alright? Because when we have an audience listening, we want to keep their what? Attention. So if Miss Haycock were to not use expressions and, you know, throw my hands around sometimes, or just fall asleep, right? It's possible. It's possible. Very good. Okay, Miss Haycock. We will look at that to the end of the lesson. Okay? Just don't get that. Alright, I've heard lots of good feedback with detail. We're about to come back together in just a minute. Make a correction based on feedback. Excellent job, ladies. Isn't that what feedback is about? Making sure that in the end we are prepared for our presentation, right? I'm so proud of you. Good job. Good job. Alright, can one of you tell me a piece of feedback that you gave the other? What's the piece of feedback you gave to her about her presentation? You even used a word from skills club. Good job. I'm so proud. Yes, Martin? What action would we add right there? What well? Okay, or on other side? Is it? Yes. Yes? it all the way through, note card number 3, and everybody has given a piece of feedback and also received a piece of feedback. Excellent. Thumbs down. Go up to my table in the front. I need to know where you are. Did we both read three cards? And we each gave feedback. Right? Ava? Yeah? Okay. Hey, class?
Hey.
All right, let's come back together. I heard a few excellent feedback sentences that I would like for people to say out loud so that we all clearly understand that they should be
Specific.
Specific. Perry, go ahead. After hearing, we're over here. What should we be doing? Turning and listening with care. Right? So after Sid, pencils down, ladies. After Sid had given her presentation, Perry had given specific feedback. Hey. Hey Perry, can you do me a favor and pull your mask down for just a second and speak loud so everybody can hear you?
You use great words when you talked about the butterflies, proboscis, collecting pollen.
Excellent. Because when Sydney uses the word proboscis to another class that hasn't been researching our pollinators, I mean, they'll be interested in that word, right? They just say the butterfly has a mouth, the butterfly has a part. No, she said the butterfly has a proboscis, and that was very specific. Lots of detail. Excellent feedback too, Perry. Damari, I heard you give feedback about one of the criteria on our card. So, Damari speaking, using one of his feedback starters.
One of the criteria you used really well was speaking in.
Very good. So, Damari took one of his sentence starters and he used one of the criteria from the poster here. Very nice. One more, Colton. What did you tell Dakota after her presentation?
You did a good job when you were
I love it. Fluently. Have we heard that word all year?
Yeah.
And I love how y'all are using words like expression, meaning, and fluently all on your own. I'm so proud. Excellent feedback. Okay, one more. We seem kind of eager to participate. Lila? One of your starters. Nora, way to be a good partner and help. Lila, if you chose to use more than one, okay, just choose which one was your favorite.
You did a good job when you spoke with expression.
Okay, there's another one of our words that we've been hearing all year long. The last one. What did you tell Colton about his presentation?
One thing of your presentation was you read notes.
Okay, all right, so you gave Colton some of the same feedback. Okay, hey class.
Yeah.
I love how so many of you chose to use different sentence starters for your feedback. So that you could be what? Specific. All right, let's flatten our lesson up, guys. Hey, class.
Hey, yes.
All right, let's talk about how maybe it was kind of challenging, though, all right, to read your notes. You know that sometimes Miss Aycock finds it challenging to look back at notes, too, so I understand, right? Well, hands and us.
Hey, yes.
Way to be ready. That's okay. Well, hey, class. Hey, yes. Okay, let's collect ourselves for the end of our lesson. What was challenging about using your notes to speak in complete sentences? Was there something that was challenging at all? If you didn't find a challenge, all right, that's okay, but maybe some of us did find it challenging. I have one that I can share in a minute. Izzy? That was challenging? Okay, so maybe Ava could share. What was something that was challenging about sharing your notes, Ava? Okay, so maybe you found that your notes on your note card didn't make sense. Did you find maybe a correction that you needed to make? No? Can you explain it to me? Hey, yeah, sister, you can do this. Okay. me what you found challenging? Okay, so you found that maybe one of your sentences didn't quite make sense and it needed to be corrected. Okay, so there we go. That's fine, Ava. Hey, look at Miss Adcock has made mistakes before too, right? But what's important is that whenever we're sharing our work with others, they can help us to what? Make corrections, right? Okay. So that's why this is important, Ava. Some more challenges. Let me see. Emma, what's another challenge that you might have reading your notes? Ryder, help me out. What's the challenge?
Trying to find out what feedback to say.
Okay, so instead of, all right, so you've kind of gone to our next slide in a minute. So it was tough to choose what you wanted to say when you were giving feedback about the other person's presentation. I understand. Hey, class?
Yeah.
That's why Miss Aycock gave you these cards. All right, this is something that you're going to be using a lot in 3rd grade as well. So that's why we're practicing now, Ryder, right? Because it is tough, but that's why we're practicing so that we can get better, all right, and be ready for next year, okay? One more challenge, Perry.
A challenge is if you're too scared and you might mess up.
Oh, Perry, Miss Aycock feels that way when we have visitors in the room, right?
Oh,
I might be
yeah.
afraid that I might make a mistake and mess up. So when you're reading, you might be focused so hard on not making a mistake that it gets kind of challenging,
Yeah,
right?
and they help.
Perry, I appreciate you being so honest. Last challenge, Lila.
I was scared that I was going to get some words mixed up,
Okay.
and I wouldn't remember how to pronounce them.
Okay. All right, hey class.
Yeah.
Do you know what Miss Aycock finds challenging sometimes? Keeping my place in my notes when I'm using them. All right. Sometimes Miss Aycock forgets that her notes are there, right? Even as a grown-up. So, do we understand that it can be challenging for everybody?
Yep.
Are you with me? All right, remember, what do we show to each other? What's that E word in our learning target? It's up on the board over here. That's why it's so important for us to show empathy, because we know some people might be nervous to make a mistake, might be afraid to mix up words.
Or mad.
Well, sometimes they might be mad, Parson. I hope not. All right, hey class,
Yeah.
let's wrap it up. What was helpful about practicing this with your partner? Because remember, our audience will be 4th grade. So why was practicing today important? And how was it helpful? Colton, how was today helpful? Remember, we're practicing for our real presentation. Why was today important and helpful? Do you think today was helpful, Colton? Practicing your presentation with your partner that you're comfortable with? Okay, why? Okay, thank you, Emma. Today, did it help you know what you were going to say and prepare you for your real presentation?
Yes.
Hey, class.
Yes.
Did it help you maybe get rid of some of your nerves?
Yes.
Yes. All right, Miss Aycock likes to practice before we have visitors in here so that I can try to get rid of some of these what? Nerves. And I can be prepared for the real presentation, right? Lila?
What do we say in between the paragraphs?
What do you mean?
Like when we're finished with one paragraph, what do we say between?
Oh, I like that question. Okay? You don't really have to say anything, Lila, because remember what we focused on? Hey, class?
Yes.
We have focused on writing our notes in order so that the process is clear for other people to understand. So as long as our notes are in order, all right, we put them into complete sentences, we don't really have to add any extra in between for now, right? That's why we practice
So
in order.
I could just say beetles are attracted to flowers because they're bright colors and because beetles eat the whole flower. Beetles, hairy body, and then
Because after they've gone to the flower and landed on it, Lila, then we know that the next part is explaining what part of their body helps them to actually move pollen, right? To pollinate and move pollen. Hey, class?
Hey,
Wrapping it up, how did it feel to receive feedback from your partner? How did it feel to hear what they had to say about your work? Hands and eyes. Come on, guys. We're close. How did it feel to hear somebody say something positive and specific about your work? Carson, how did it feel, buddy?
Happy.
Okay, so it made you feel happy. Why? Can you be more specific?
Because when Sydney helps me, I was happy.
Okay, so their feedback, okay, made you happy because they were specific. All right, and their help also makes you feel better because sometimes you get confused, right? Okay, good, Carson. I'm proud of you for being honest. Carson, Alexis? Okay. Okay, so she says feedback is important because it helps her to do what with her mistakes?
Correct them.
Correct it. All right, hey class. I want to just tell you a little bit about what we're doing in the future. Oh, hey class. Oh, so nice. Excellent job. Tomorrow we're going to be finishing up practicing our last 6 note cards. Practice reading with what? Expression
and meaning.
Loud voices. All right. Speaking in what? Complete sentences. That was our main learning target today. But at the end, we're going to practice, all right, adding our. Oh, thank you for remembering my gesture, Dakota. What are we practicing? Our conclusion to our presentation. And then we're going to remember and practice to ask our audience if they have any questions. All right, excellent. That's what we're going to be doing before we finally get to present what we have worked so hard to research and collect the last few weeks. Up, hey class. Excellent job today. Real quick, I want you to use a thumbs up or a thumbs down. All right, listen carefully to my instructions. If you feel like today was helpful and you are more prepared to present your information orally, give me a thumbs up. If you feel like today wasn't enough practice and you might need a little bit more, give me a thumbs down. So I want to see everybody give a little assessment. Thank you so much for being honest. All right, so maybe you two and I can practice together later. All right, and we can talk about how we can maybe make some corrections or to feel better about our presentation. Excellent. Hey, class? Hands down. Excellent effort today on practicing for your oral presentation that you're giving at the end of the week. Okay, so we thought we should have a little extra practice. All right, good job, guys. I want you to go ahead and clean up your note cards. You know where to put them back. Efficiently. Thank you. Good job.